Yo, so there is a new actual fastest and easiest way to progress through the ball player programs in MLB The Show 21. A lot of people already probably know about this, but the reason I'm making this video and a lot of my other ones when I make guides, tips, stuff like that is because if it helps at least one person, I'm happy. So if this video helps at least one person out there, then I feel like I am happy with myself for uploading this video. We're trying to help at least one person. Maybe leave a like on this. On the road to 100,000 subscribers. Comment down below any questions, maybe people could help you out, any tips, tricks, suggestions for people, anything like that. And the first step for this method, probably the hardest step, is actually downloading the roster, because there has been a ton of issues with the roster vaults downloading stuff. But what you want to do is go up to the create button, go to the roster vault, and when you're on here, you just press R1. That's going to take you over to the roster vault. As y'all can see behind me, it takes a while to load. You know, this is pretty slow, and it might take a few times. If you're having trouble, if you're getting the error message where it says like unhandled server exception or whatever that message is, I would like this exactly. I would recommend just completely closing out of the game and re-going into it. Now, once you actually get to the vault, you are looking for that roster we have in the top left. You can press the square button on PlayStation or X button on Xbox to search. And when you go to search, you can either search for Twin 0, as y'all can see right there. Okay, you can either search for that, or what you want to do is online ID. You could just search Twin Gaming TV, exactly the same as my YouTube name. But if you're doing the name, it's going to be Twin space 0. Otherwise, just search my online ID, Twin Gaming TV, and look for the Twin 0 roster. You want to go ahead and select that, and then select download, and you can save it whatever name you want. We're just going to do roster vault Twin 0. Save that to our files. Y'all can see here's my original file right here, and we're just going to do a new save. Go ahead and do it, and it should be in your roster files. Now, while I was trying to download it, I got this message, but I'm pretty sure it should still be there. If we go to our settings and then file management and do load, then rosters, we can go ahead and see our saved rosters and see that it actually did download. Now, like I said, that's probably the hardest step. What you want to do next is go to Road to the Show, and you see more options. You want to hit that, and you do have to start a new Road to the Show. So we're going to do this, set up my ball player. And one thing that I want to make clear right now too is that for this, I would recommend not being a two-way player. I'll show you guys how to make sure you're not a two-way player. I would recommend either being a pitcher or a hitter. This method is really good for both pitching and hitting, but I feel like it's going to be fastest for the position player programs where you need hits, extra base hits, plate appearances, and then obviously assists and putouts can come along with the way with those. But we're going to go ahead, select our loadout. I have the Slick Slugger right here, as y'all can see. Road to the Show missions, plate appearances, extra base hits, also have the assist and the putouts, and we're going to go ahead, just have that be our loadout. Back out. Once we've done this, you just want to go back, and then it will say roster selection, use current, default, or saved. We are loading saved, and you're going to be selecting the one you just downloaded from the vault, Twin 0, and then you should be good to go once you get into Road to the Show. And I'll show you exactly what you need to do here. You want to be drafted by the Cardinals. For this method, for my roster, you want to be drafted by the Cardinals. So we want to say there's one team I've heard from more than a couple times. And then we want to say, nope, it's a National League club. You just want to do the options that's going to lead you to the Cardinals. It's an NL Central team. They give up. The St. Louis Cardinals is who we want to draft us. And then we're going to go ahead and show you, once we're actually on the team, what to do next. Now, once you get drafted, you have your first interaction. And this doesn't really matter. You're pretty much just choosing your position. They force you pretty much to be a two-way player. But you don't have to. We get to change that a little bit later on. And your fielding position doesn't matter. It's whatever you want to do. Something like catcher or second base, shortstop could be good if you need assists and putouts. Obviously, it's up to you, though. I will say catcher seems to be glitched in Diamond Dynasty, where you can't have a ball player catcher. You can't play him at catcher. It just seems to be messed up. He's really bad at fielding if you do. So that's an issue that I am aware of, and I know is happening, which sucks. But I'm just going to go ahead and do somewhere in the infield and second base for my guy. Now, after that happens, you're going to be in the main hub of Road to the Show, and you want to go to play. I'm going to go to view calendar and then go to May and just sim through this date. One thing that I wanted to add on to from the beginning about making this video, if it helps out one person, couple things. So there are lots of other people I'm sure who have already made a video on this, and like I said, if this helps at least one person, I'm happy. And then number two is I just get a ton of people asking me over on my Twitch stream, so it helps me a ton having this video to direct them towards when people are wondering, hey, what's the new method? I can just point them in the direction of this video. As we can see though, I'm a position player, so I want to look at the top for the one where my creative player is pitching. Y'all can see that's right here, Joe in the top left. That's my creative player. So this game I don't want to play, but because I'm not pitching until then, and how this method works is you want to go into the games, you want to do play next appearance. But real quick before we do that, I just want to show y'all that this does work, and we can go to our player, my ball player, loadout, and then view the program. So just for the ease of everything, I'm at 3 out of 60 extra base hits. And if you want to see putouts, 4 out of 40, 8 out of 40 for the assist. But I'm at 3 out of 60 for the extra base hits. And then obviously play appearances, 21 out of 30. So when we come back, I think that should be at 0 if I'm not mistaken with how this works. So what you want to do, once you're on the team, you want to go to play and then next appearance. You can see we're not starting, we're playing in the field, so that's why I'm showing it to you guys right now. Go to play game, have your loadout selected that you're trying to level up, and actually go into a game. And this next step is really important, okay? Once you're in the game, you do not want to go to next appearance, you want to go to exit. Next appearance and something to the end seems to screw it up. You need to go to exit and then simulate and exit. Then you can just press the back button, circle on PlayStation, B on Xbox, and it will simulate a little bit faster through to the end of the game. Now, this is a typical game right here where it's high scoring and you're going to get anywhere from like 4 to 8 at bats. That seems to be normal, and I can just go ahead and play next game, show you guys each version. But what we're looking for, and what does not happen every time, but it rarely does, I should hopefully on screen right now have a picture of it. You can get a ton of at-bats and just a really, really good outcome, a lot of progression for the program. Now, that does not happen every game. It's pretty rare. It's not going to happen, like I said, every game. But as y'all can see, we are back in here, going to go to simulate and exit, and we can see our team putting up a lot of runs. We should be getting, a good amount of at-bats. 4 for 6 right there, a couple homers. We did get some extra base hits. Gonna go to play next game and just show you guys. I want to show y'all the entire process just so it hopefully is clear. I want everything to be detailed and explained as well as I possibly can, because a lot of times people have questions and I feel like maybe I don't explain myself enough. But like I said, go to exit, simulate and exit, and we're having another high scoring game. Should have a lot of at-bats, plate appearances, and hopefully some extra base hits. Again, every game, for the most part, is going to be like this, except for the few random games where you're getting a ton of progress. Either way, though, with this happening, you are still gaining a lot of progress, especially when you have plate appearances for one of the options, hits, extra base hits. Those are going really, really fast. And one thing that I want to make clear, too, y'all see I did not get any XP. That's another thing. Like I said, I'm trying to be as detailed and explain everything as much as possible. You don't get XP every game. You only get XP at certain milestones in the ball player program. If we go to our loadout, we can go ahead and check. I'm at 2 out of 100, so I did earn stuff. This is actually at 8, so it looks like maybe every game this one resets, which would be really nice if you do progress it. And then we can go down. I was at 3 out of 60. Now I'm at 6 out of 60. Putouts, 6 out of 40. Assists, 18 out of 40. So we are getting progress. Y'all can see that we are getting progress. And what I really want to make clear is you are only earning XP when you get stubs in the program. So when you get to 20, 50, 80, and then the final one, it shows that you earn XP. Now, the XP that you earned is based on what you see right there. So I am earning 6,000 at 100. At 80, I earn 6,000. At 50, I earn 6,000, and then at 20, I earn 6,000 XP. So that is where you are earning XP. Where you're earning stubs is from here and also from the equipment. The diamond programs have guaranteed diamond equipment, which is huge. So this method is really good for earning stubs, earning equipment, earning things you can sell, and also earning XP and just overall maxing out your ball player. Now, the next thing that I want to show, and probably one of the last things that I want to show in the video, is how to make it so you are not a two-way player, because I recommend not being one. I'm going to go to calendar. As y'all can see, we are scheduled to pitch on this day right here. So what I'm going to do as pretty much just sim through the date because you need that pitching appearance to happen, right? So I'm going to sim through this date again, and y'all can see we have a little bit of a cutscene type stuff here. Our agent should call us right here, and he's asking, hey, how do you feel about being a two-way player? And in my opinion, this method is best if you're not a two-way player. If you really want to, you can be. I think it should be fine, but I think it's best, in my opinion, to just focus on one program at a time, get it done. So we're going to say, I don't like it. I would prefer to focus on position play and hitting only. He says, you don't want to pitch at all, and we're like, exactly, yes. Now, if you're a pitcher, you want to be a starting pitcher, just go ahead and make sure you're choosing the options where you're choosing that you are a starting pitcher. So we have a new series coming up, and what I'm probably going to do is just simulate and come back to you guys when I have one of the really good games, one of the games where you see a ton of stuff, and we'll kind of see how long it takes before we get our first one. So I'll see you guys then, and then I'll peace it out and do my little outro. As y'all can see, we're having one of these special games here. I think it took about 12, 13, maybe 14 games, but we're having one of these special games. This is what really can help with the programs, especially when you need hits, extra base hits. If you get it early on in a program, it can just pretty much knock out the entire program, at least the missions where you can do them one time, the big ones, it can sometimes knock those out all at one. Now, this one's a little bit on the smaller side. Like, I've seen way bigger. I think the picture I showed you guys earlier, I had 200 and something, but right here, 65 for 68, 21 homers, 15 doubles. So right there, that's already insane. And you don't have to go to Return to Clubhouse. You can just keep playing next game until you get to the end of a series. I guess we can go ahead and do that right now. And one thing that I might try to include in the pinned comment that I just want to say right now is my roster is not necessarily the best roster for this. There are other people who have rosters. I know Light Skin Chris, ScoMo, the one I found this from, the one I found this method from is Aqua. I should have his link in the description to his Twitter because that's where I found it. I think he might have made a YouTube video. If he did, I'll try to put that up as well. And I'm not saying that my roster is the best roster. Like I said at the beginning, I'm just doing this so I can hopefully help at least one person. That's the whole point of this. I'm getting a ton of people asking me on my Twitch stream, so if I help at least one person, I'm happy, but I'm not guaranteeing that my roster is way better or will perform better than anybody else's. I feel like it's pretty much going to be about the same. And look at that, 4 for 7 that game. We can go ahead and check our progress, check out the program. I've already earned XP once. While I was trying to get that special game going on. We just earned the XP again. You guys can see it came with some stubs too. The XP does come with stubs, which is really nice. And before we check the lowdown, I just want to go to the calendar and show y'all about how many games it took. So skip this little cutscene, doesn't really matter. One thing too before we end is once you get to the MLB, I don't know if after one full season things are going to change. I would maybe recommend once you're done with the season just starting a new road to the show, but I'm really not sure if it matters a whole lot. But as y'all can see, 59 to 0, 29 to 1, 201 to 0, 52, 29, 43, 41. So we're getting tons of games, and it took until about the end of the month. So, you know, it took about 10, 15 games before we got our first real glitchy game right here, okay? And before we piece it out, let's just go ahead and check on the program. Let's just kind of check how things are doing. You know, we're a month into the season. How far in the program are we? 56 out of 100 a month into the season. A month into the season, we've already done this. Again, I'm doing one right here with assists and putouts, but this method is really good for extra base hits, and plate appearances. Those are the main ones this method is good for. As a position player, as a pitcher using this roster, I feel like you should be getting a lot of strikeouts and a lot of innings just because you're going up against 0 overall players. So I feel like this method is good for both position player and pitchers. With that being said, I also recommend being a non-two-way player, just focusing on a program at a time, making a new road to the show, maybe when you want to do another program, if that's how you want to do it. And the last thing that I want to say is that those glitch games are best for position players. For a pitcher, it's really not going to matter. This is really only for position players. Otherwise, it's just going to be super easy to sim, get these done. It's super fast, progress through those programs. So I hope everything was clear in this video. I know I probably over-explained everything a little bit, but I just want to try to make sure there's no questions or anything that is left unclear or anything that's confusing. I really wanted to try to just make this as clear as possible. Like, comment, subscribe, social medias, all that good stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Again, I hope I helped at least one person out there. I'll see you next time. Twin Gaming TV, Sunday through Fridays on Twitch, live by 10 a.m. Central. Hopefully, I'll see you there as well. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace out.